back to the garage. In this video, we're going to be making a custom diff mount for my INTRAC rear diff. The INTRAC diff comes out of a Civic Therios. They're like European type cars. They come all-wheel drive factory, but this one has a viscous coupler inside of it, and so it makes it LSD at the same time. But today I'm going to be making a diff mount for that. I was going to copy kind of the Odyssey Fab kit that they have, but I think what I'm going to do is make something like the Power Factory tuning one, and I think I'm going to be using a square bar on the top, which I have right here. I got a 6-foot section of square bar here that I'm going to be using for the top portion. This is the diff. This is the INTRAC diff. Pretty much like a Civic wagon, like mounting points and everything, and like the CRV, but if you can see, it's LSD, and the viscous is right inside there. That is the viscous in there. And these you can turn, you can disengage the four-wheel drive electronically if you want. Factory, they did it for like ABS. They turns it on and off, but I'm just gonna always leave it turned on. But if you wanted to, also you can do it manually by, I can't remember, it's somewhere in here. You basically just turn something with a wrench and it turns it from all-wheel drive to front-wheel drive again. But I'm gonna get started with making the top mount right here. I'm gonna start off with making that with some square bar and then a piece of angle iron. And I have the car on wheel, what do you call it? Wheel dolly things. I forgot what the hell they're called, but I made these. That's what you were watching in the clip before. I had removed the gas tank out and I made these wheel cribs. That's what they're called. And so the car is all level now and it's under its own weight, so I can get under there and measure the pinion angle of the transfer case, so I can match it, well, oppositely match it. So say if it's a degree or half a degree, which I've measured it, I'm pretty sure it's half a degree up, so the diff needs to go half a degree down, but I need to confirm that one more time with the actual level and my angle finder that I got. But that's what I'm going to get to doing right now. I'm going to check the pinion angle and then we'll start getting at the diff and I'll show you all of it. All right, we're under the car and we have the angle finder on there, which it's hard for me to hold, but it says 0.4 degrees in the up. And I basically, to get this measurement, I have a piece of metal in my hand. I'll get out and I'll show you. Oh, crawl out from under there. All right, so I had a piece of metal and I put it so it was straight. Put it up against the transfer case, made sure it was flush. And before I did that, I put an actual level next to the tire, make sure that it's level, which it pretty much is. And then I set the angle finder on it, set the angle finder on top of the level and then hit 0 to find the pinion angle. So now I need to build off that and do, pretty much half a degree down when I put the diff in. One other thing I forgot to mention is that I have INTRAC rear axles for it, and one is long and one is short, as normally some people use 2 longs or 2 shorts, but these are going to set the diff off to one side pretty much. And that's kind of why I'm also doing a custom diff mount, because I have the WEF shit up center bearing and I want that to be dead nuts straight, and I also got a laser level to make sure that it's dead nuts when I put it in there, but the axles will kind of all dictate that as well. to, so the diff can slide up in here. And then this is, you know, people bash that out, but I'm gonna cut that out and plate it, you know, put a cover over it. I might need to trim some more there, but it's for the hump and the diff there. But the reason I cut all this out is I do plan on cutting out this right here, this whole thing. I'm gonna cut out the spare tire well, and I have like a boat style fuel cell that I'm going to be mounting underneath the car because I don't want a cell in the car. And then I'm gonna put a flat plate across it on the inside and seal everything in. But I am going to box these ends up on both sides when I weld everything in. But today I'm going to, or at least for right now, I'm going to measure from here to here and see how long I need the bar for, and then I'm gonna cut a hole in the bar to slide the bar. I'm gonna cut plates to weld up there, and I'm gonna cut a hole in the plate for the bar to slide into, and then weld that all up. And then once I get all that done, we can slide the diff up in there and start doing all that. All right, well, things have escalated since the last clip I just saw you. So I tried to put the differential up more with the axles in, but come to find out that I can't do the offset INTRAC axles. I measured them, and one is 29.5 and one is 25.5 or so, but the one that's 25 is just way too short. So a Civic wagon axles, the lengths on them are 32 inches and 29 inches, so that's how you can do the offset. So I unfortunately had to send one back, the 25-inch one, to Insane Shafts yesterday, and it's probably going to take 2 weeks. It's going to take a week for that one to get there, and then for them to exchange it and send the other one back. But I'm going to go ahead and finish the diff mount with just the one axle, and I'm going to end up centering it actually. But let me show you what I got going here, because things escalated quickly here. So, hey, we got no more car left. So I decided to cut this portion out because I didn't want to make a pocket to cover the diff, and I'm going to remake the diff mount. I'm going to put a brace from here to hold up the back part of the diff, and then for this portion I'm going to take the square bar still, and it's going to go from frame rail to frame rail inside there. But the reason I cut this out is for the next video. Basically, I'm going to be doing the fuel cell there, and I'm going to be mounting it under the car, and I figured figured it would be easier to put a flat plate piece of thick sheet metal over all of this than to try and make a box over this and a box over that, and just, yeah. And that's when I decided that I'm going to make the bracket from here to support these, the missing part there, but also just to make it easier, basically. But yeah, I'm going to basically put the diff up with one axle in it, and then I'm gonna start doing this portion, this top bar. So it'll either be a time lapse or I might just do a regular record of that, but I'm gonna get the diff up and then we'll start recording. All right, I have the diff all up here and squared away. It is all level, if you can see there. I actually just need to cock it a tiny bit, but I had it all level. Did all that last night. I squared it up. You know, it's centered in between the two control arm bolt holes, and it's also centered from 2 points, from a point here and a point here, from the center of the the center of the output shaft there, or whatever you want to call it, input for the diff, the flange. And then I also rechecked the pinion angle on the front, and it was actually 0. So let me get my angle finder here. I had this lined up last night. I haven't checked it since I've come out here, but it shouldn't really be off too much. All right, so it says it's 0.2, so I basically just got to re-shim it. But I just have it shimmed up here with pieces of wood and stuff like that to get it perfectly level and at the correct pinion angle. So I just need to tap it around a tiny bit. But I also checked with a laser level. The height this way, and I have the tape measure up there. Let me get it. So I put the tape measure up to the highest point, and I also checked for the e-brake cables there, and it was pretty good, but I had it about, it's not really too great when I get the tape measure lined up there perfect. This green line is right at about the 2-inch mark, so that's great because the center of this shaft here means if I got a 3-inch one, it gives me half an inch above and whatever down. But I plan on only doing probably like a 2.5-inch drive shaft around is what I'm talking about. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna cut some angle iron and I'm gonna bolt it to this mounting point here, and then I'm gonna recheck all the points, and I'm gonna slide the bar up in here. I make in the I'm gonna put a time lapse on, and I'm gonna make the angle iron and gonna grind down the bar and cut it for some plates and stuff like that. And then once I get it all mounted up in there, I'll show you all that up close.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Alright, well, in that last time lapse, you saw me cut this bar down to the right length under the car, and then I plasma cut, this plate out here, but I didn't show I plasma cut holes inside the plate here. So the plate will basically, or this bar will slide up into the car and touch the sides of the frame, and then I'll put these plates. I'll make sure the diff is all level and everything, and then level and square, and then once it is, I'll tack this bar to the diff, and then I'm gonna recheck everything one more time, and then I'm gonna tack them into here and inside here. I think I'm just going to tack them for now, and then I'm gonna start doing the rear mount portion of that. Probably start doing that tomorrow or something, but and then once all that's done, I'm not going to fully weld anything because I'm going to have to pull the passenger axle out and plop it into the driver side, or pull the driver side one out and plop it into the passenger side, just to make sure that everything lines up good, because I only got the one axle. But yeah, gonna put you back on a time lapse and do that, and yeah, start doing on the rear tomorrow.
Got her spiced up a little bit too much.
All right, since last couple of clips there, I cut some metal out and I welded in some plates on the inside there to give it a little more strength. And then I decided to put a bar in here, and weld it up, and then I'm gonna tack that all in, and then I'm gonna make, out of some cat, I'm gonna make some pieces to attach from here to here on both sides, and then probably make a back piece for it too. But yeah, I'm gonna tack this in now, and then I'm gonna make the back pieces, and I'm gonna cap these in, but I'm not gonna show it in the video because, you know, everybody doesn't need to see that. They know how to do that. But all right, I'm gonna make some plates, and I'll actually put either a little video of that or a time lapse too. I just forgot to film this bar there. It was kind of hard to get the angles right, and yeah, I just was in the mood of working. That's attempt one. Going to trace this one out and add a little more bend to that right there. Alrighty, my plasma cut this piece out that I traced and got it up here fitting pretty nice. You know, there's a little bit of a gap up there. Not too much, but it's pretty good. But what I'm gonna do is make another one for the other side, and then I'm gonna make a piece of CAD to go from here up and around that will box these two in. And yeah, I think I'm going to end up doing those off camera because this video is going to be kind of long. But I'm gonna make those other two templates and get it all tacked up, and then once it's all tacked up, I'll show you what I'm gonna do after that, because I'm probably gonna make bars to go from here to there on both sides, and then that'll probably wrap it up for this video because it's getting kind of long. All right, well, as you can see, there is no jack anymore. I have the diff supported by itself, and it's leveled, you know, 0.01. I had to re-level, I had to re-grind off the tacks over there and raise it up a little. It wasn't too good, but let me show you down here. Crawl under here. See if I can show you this. Got some shit on the magnet there. Okay. Just said 0, but sorry, video got cut off there because I was messing around with the angle finder. But if you can see, that says 0.01. You know, it's pretty much close to 0. The transfer case is actually at 0 now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a piece of CAD for this in here and tack this, or weld, you know, make a piece to tack this all the way in. And then I'm going to make a bar from here to here, and here from here, probably at a square tube. And I think I'm going to put you on the time lapse for that, and then once I have all that, I'll show you what's all done with that, and then probably wrap it up for this video, and I'll weld everything in myself. You know, you guys don't want to watch me weld all this in, but yeah. Alright, so in that time lapse there, I was making these back bracket there, had that welded on, and I also was able to make these two crossbars and welded those in. But pretty much everything on this is all complete now. I just really need to fully weld everything. I just wanted to confirm that this axle fit in here, which it does, but I had to make some modification to it. It was unfortunately 3/4 of an inch too long, and I had to weld it together. But it has about a 1/4 inch of play. But I do plan on fully welding this up and grinding it smooth, and then I'm gonna sleeve it with this thick pipe I got here. Slide that over. It's exactly 1 inch. I'm gonna take the axle apart, slide that over, and put it together because I couldn't find any axles that could work. People supposedly use too long wagon axles. Too short wagon axles might have worked, but you know, I'd already spent my money on this axle, and I'm getting this one exchanged for the other short one, and I just didn't want to spend any more money, and figured I had all this stuff and I can weld it. And if it breaks, I'll either see if Insane sells a shaft in the middle there that's 3/4 of an inch shorter, and if not, I'll just, you know, approach it at that point. But basically got these all tacked in, and the diff is all up there by itself. You know, I think I might make a plate to just extend this just a tiny bit more, maybe just a little bit more. And I'm also going to make a plate to cover these up, but I figured you guys don't really need to watch that. You've seen enough fabrication in this video. But basically just have to weld it all in now. I'll show you the other side. And here's the underside, and it's all 100% squared up, perfect pinion angle. It's completely centered 100%, which, to be honest, made it a little bit easier. But I also was able to test fit this stock 2.5-inch drive shaft I have up there to make sure that it clears the e-brake cables, and it just clears. Everything is perfect. So I think I'm gonna weld all this up, and then I'm also gonna paint it black, and then I'm gonna put undercoating over everything so it's all protected and everything. But that'll pretty much wrap up this video of all the fabrication and stuff. But if you want to check out the next project I got, which is mounting a fuel cell right into that big hole there, hit the subscribe button and check that out. But thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to add real quick that I did add some gussets to this angle iron before the video ended, but keep an eye out for the next video for the fuel cell.